that our tax system needs to reach. When we look deeply into this law, there are quite a number of those that have been addressed. There is no system or no law that doesn't have
Honorable
challenges.
GNI, 2 minutes more, please.
There are no system that doesn't have challenges. And I'm happy that from the generality of what we have heard from our governors and from the populace, they are ready for us to talk to the committee that will look at this at the public hearing stage. I therefore want to join others in saying that
Time up, Honorable
this
GNI.
law is good, this system is very perfect, and that we should pass it to go into the second reading. To pass it for second reading, rather. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, my colleagues, as we go ahead to pass these tax bills. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Honorable Miriam.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Miriam Odinaka Onoha. I represent the people of Okigwe, Onimo, Isi Alamba, North Federal Constituency. I am from Imo State. Distinguished colleagues, Mr. Speaker, this morning I rise to lend my voice to this very important bill. And I'd like to start by stating that I support the general principles of this bill because it seeks to balance income. The essence of taxation is to make it in a manner that is progressive, where the poor get better benefits, where we take more from the rich and pass on to the poor to balance incomes. I'd like to talk about the employment relief, where Section 164, Sub 4A and B provides exemptions and reliefs for additional employment for companies who have taken new employees and on a salary of 100,000 or less. This bill proposes a 50% discount or rebate for them, and is a way of improving employment opportunity for our teeming unemployed. I'd like to also talk about the opportunities available for SMEs. If Nigeria, with over 250 million people, has about half of its population as women, I see this bill and this fiscal reform as a good time for Nigerian women who are hustling day and night, especially in the informal sector, or budding entrepreneurs with young businesses who are oftentimes beladen or overburdened by tax pressure. This bill takes away that burden if your annual turnover is below 50 million, as against what used to obtain when it was businesses below 25 million. So I look at the overall population of the target beneficiaries of the populist benefit or nature of this bill, and I give it a well-conceiving idea, not minding that no bill is totally in itself self-sufficient, because the dynamics of law is that it is dynamic in nature. And that I mean by saying that if this bill is supported by all of us to get to second reading,
Honorable Miriam Odinaka,
stakeholders can
I stand to be gender biased.
and speak
Continue
on how it supports or affects them, especially the subnationals. I like to use my time properly, our leader. And I like to also thank the federal government for giving up their 5% as a stabilization to support the cushioning of this process, while also explaining the need to abolish the sunset clause.
Miriam Odinaka, 2 minutes more, please.
Thank you, sir. The sunset clause for TED Fund is something that should be expunged. And I believe that stakeholders will submit memoranda to that effect, because TED Fund has proved to be an interventionist agency which has come to bridge the gap, infrastructure gap in our tertiary institutions. And giving life to a child will only be improper to come when the baby is growing and you want to take off life from that same child. if the issue is with the probity
Order, please.
the National Assembly is
Honorable
willing
Miriam,
to
please, round up.
oversight and introduce stringent actions and guidelines for assessing the funds. I'd like to also advise that there could be a digitization of audited accounts in the new bill, which would stop the rampant or incessant frivolous issuance of account statements, audited accounts by companies. This I mean by companies submit a different account to Corporate Affairs Commission. Then they submit a different account to FIRS in a bid to lower their incomes. So I think that this should be digitized in a manner that what you submit is what will be used for you. I also want to advise against executive issuance of exemption orders.
Honorable Miriam, please.
Overall, I submit the general principles of this bill again, and I pray that it goes to second reading where stakeholders will make their further observations. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, honorable colleagues, for your rapt attention. God bless you.
Thank you. Honorable Fulata, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respected colleagues, I am Abubakar Hassan Fulata. I represent Borneo Krika Samagudi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. My respected colleagues, Mr. Speaker, all the bills, with the exception of the bill dealing with tax administration, have no interpretation clauses. You know, as I do, Mr. Speaker.
Let us please not be repetitive. I'm sure, I could remember Honorable Sada raised that issue. Honorable Jimmy did. So please, honorable colleagues, if
I'm not repeating.
If a speaker has spoken on a subject matter, let us try not to repeat the same thing, just for guidance subsequently. Go ahead.
The interpretation clause, a bill without an interpretation clause, Mr. Speaker, is a blind bill, subject to abuse and subject to also to the whims and caprices of whoever that is going to interpret that law. So all the bills, with the exception, only the tax administration bill has interpretation clause. Others do not have, all the three. Therefore, we must ensure that there is an interpretation clause on the other three bills. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I know as a chairman of the House Committee on University Education, the wonderful job TED Fund is doing in the education sector. Therefore, my position is that these agencies, TED Fund, NIDA, NASENI, should be retained. The clause dealing with their systematic phasing out should be completely deleted, Mr. Speaker. Thirdly, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Fulata, 2 minutes more.
I've not even started.
Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, the bills, all the bills have inconsistency clauses, equating them with the Constitution. I'm here, for example, to give an example with section 197, 198, 199, 200, 2001, and 2002 especially, making statements on inconsistency. Any bill that is inconsistent is termed null and void. All the inconsistency clauses should be removed. And the bills also seek to amend over 40 acts which have not been placed before us. Those 40 acts should be placed before us so that we compare against those bills. About 40 acts are being repealed and being phased out by these acts that we are dealing with, Mr. Speaker. Then I'm also putting it forward that Section 38 of the Taxation Act.
We have other honorable members queued up that they want to talk. Please round up.
Section 38 presents a position of double taxation. If you are buying a property, the buyer will pay tax. Also, the seller will pay tax. This amounts to double taxation. And finally, my position on the inheritance tax. Inheritance tax, as a Muslim, we don't tolerate inheritance tax. you don't take away from the property, from the wealth of the orphan and give it away to any other person, Mr. Speaker. Finally, I posit that the VAT sharing formula should be based on 50% equity, 20% population, 30% derivation. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Are you differing from your governor's stand? Or Fulata's order will put on record?
I'm not deviating. This is the position of the governors.
Oh, that's okay. So you are just reiterating. That's okay. Good to know. Our next speaker will be Honorable Cyril Hart. Cyril, are you still around? Okay.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the economy of time, Hart Cyril Goldwyn, presenting the fabulous will of Bonny. I'm from Rivers State, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to start with the words of Benjamin Franklin. He said, "In this world, nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes." Mr. Speaker, the tax has come to stay, just as death is inevitable. I would deviate completely from what has been said to talk about Section 85. It talks about giving production credit for those who are producing gas. 30% of the fiscal gas price will be given to them as credit. Mr. Speaker, you are aware that today the non-oil sector contributes about 90% of our GDP, whereas the oil sector contributes about 5% of our GDP. But the irony of that statement is that this 5% of oil sector contribution to the GDP is what constitutes 60% of funds or revenue to budgets. And again, it contributes 90% of your foreign exchange. Therefore, we have to do a lot to ramp up crude production, and that is what Section 85 seeks to address. Mr. Speaker, I will stop here so that others can have the opportunity to speak. We need foreign exchange from gas production. We also need gas for power. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very nice one, sir.
Thank you. Our next speaker will be Honorable Kuye.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for yielding the floor to me and allowing me to lend my voice to support this bill. My name remains Ademori Aliukuye. I speak for the good people of Shomolu Federal Constituency, and I'm from Lagos State. Mr. Speaker, let me first commend the passion, the energy, and the love displayed by honorable colleagues in the debate of this very all-important Tax Reform Act. You could see the passion and the love for the welfare of the people in all of these debates. But in supporting the general principle of this bill, which I stand to do today in the same manner of passion, sir, I wish to say that the 2024 appropriation bill is before us. 2025, sorry, sir, is before us. The increase in the need for revenue generation cannot be overemphasized. And if truly we are ready for the economic transformation that we all yearn for in this country, and making Nigeria to be globally competitive, there is need for all of us to support this tax reform bill to pass through this second reading, sir. There is no denying the fact that there is so much infrastructural deficits. There is no denying the fact.
2 minutes more, sir. 2 minutes more.
there is no denying the fact that there is need for us to harmonize the various tax bills that we have in this country. There is no denying the fact that most of the bills that deals with our taxes in this country are archaic, outdated,
time up.
and therefore there is need for all of us to support this. I therefore support this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Igarwe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My highly respected colleagues, my name is Right Honorable Igariwe Iduma Enwo. I speak for the people of Afikpo North, Afikpo and the Edda Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ebonyi State. Mr. Speaker, I've listened extensively to comments, contributions from colleagues, and in a sense, I do think we are deviating from our rules. At the stage of legislative proceedings we have found ourselves now, we are expected to be strictly guided by the clear provisions of Order 12, Rule 5, which restricts us to the basic principles of the bill before us. But I've heard people speaking and speaking and speaking of challenges, of disadvantage, a whole manner of things I think we ought to look at when we get to the next stage, which is the public hearing. I don't want us to eat the whole cake. We should take our own now, which is to just look at the general principles. And then when we get to the public stage hearing, when Nigerians will be involved, all manner of people will be involved, we will look at those details being raised here today. So I will urge us, Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues, let us support this second reading of the bill so that it gets to the next stage where we can sit down with experts, with all manner of Nigerians, and look at this bill extensively. So at this stage, I support that we go to the next stage, which is to pass it to the relevant committee. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you for the observation, and thank you for the guidance. Please let us try as much as possible to be economical with our words and stick strictly to the provisions of the bills so that we don't deviate, please. The next speaker will be the leader of the Labour Party, Honorable George Ozodinobi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My fellow principal officers, my highly respected honorable colleagues, my name is George Ibezimako Ozodinobi, and I speak for the good people of Njikoka and Ocha Dunukofia Federal Constituency. I'm from Anambra State. Yes. The first time this bill was presented, I saw it as a near perfect document, as it were. But based on the wisdom of Mr. Speaker and the Deputy Speaker who took the first bullet on the first day it was presented, I went back for further consultation, and I want to thank all the leadership of this great assembly. I want to thank our regional caucus leaders. I want to thank our state caucus leaders for the consultation, and especially Mr. Speaker, who gave us all the time to do the consultation. I wouldn't want to go into the general principles of these four bills because the leader of the House, Professor Ihovere, have touched on basic principles of it. But basically, I saw this bill, I'm constrained from where I'm coming from to, for the first time, to salute the courage of Mr. President for this presentation of this bill, as it were. And also I saw it from where I came from as a subtle restructuring of this great nation by this bill. And at the same time, also a kind of a handshake across the Niger to our people. With the consultation I had from my constituents, I plead with us that this bill is good to go past the second reading, as it were, and we look at all other things, because my leader, my great leader, Mr. Peter Obi, in some of the principle, he believes in consumption to production. There are tax rebates on this issue of production, new companies, and all of that. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you again for your wisdom, for giving us time to consult and come to this very quiet environment today. I prayed for it as a man of faith. The environment is quite quiet, unlike what we had the first time. Thank you.
Order, please. Order, distinguished honorable.
Thank you, Leader. Is Honorable Oshoba around? Oshoba, no? Honorable Maki. Are you ready now or later?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. I remain Abubakar Maki Eleman. I'm from Jigawa State. I represent Madam Dore Kaugama Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, first and foremost, I want to align with my senior colleagues. They have spoken well and commend the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for finding it worthy to see that at this crucial time, he brought this kind of reform. And the National Assembly, I want to also concur with my colleagues as we remain silent and also go through the bill. We find it worthy for it to be read for the second time. So, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I'm solely behind the bill to be read for the second time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable. The next speaker will be Honorable Abijide Leke.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, PhD, GCON. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Leke Abijide. I represent the good people of Yagba Federal Constituency. I'm from Kogi State. I want to also lend my voice to appreciate the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for bringing this at this time to save our economy from collapse. I want to also appreciate my people from northern Nigeria and entire Nigeria. I said this because so many of my colleagues, including my neighbor here, Honorable Rurum, reached out to me when I made pronouncement on this bill, tried to explain the merit of the bill. Then it was not easy like this, especially on the horizontal sharing. That was the problem, which eventually the governors came to the rescue by agreeing that the horizontal sharing should be 50% equity, 30% derivation, and 20% based on population. So this was the crop of the matter as at that time. And to me today, I can say I'm one of the happiest persons that we are discussing this bill under a very cool and very happy atmosphere. So all I just want to say is, whatever amendment that is going to be done, I want to appeal to my colleague, and that we should do it in such a way that it will be a win-win for both people we represent and the proposer of the bill, that is the executives. This thing is easier today to be done because of the leadership you, as a speaker, provided. Nobody knew that we will ever pass this bill in this House to go for secondary reading. But today, from what I've heard so far from our colleagues, I believe automatically this bill has gone for second reading without any issue. So I want to appreciate everybody.
Time up, Honorable Abejide.
Thank you so much, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you, Honorable Leke. The next speaker will be Honorable Oshoba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Ian Zauzau, my distinguished colleagues. I rise to commend all my colleagues for having a very robust discussion on this bill. Every society needs to secure lives and property. If we can get this tax bill right, there will be more funds to secure the lives and property of our citizens. That is the first and primary objective of any government. Infrastructural development is another primary objective of government. If this bill is passed, there will be more funds allocated to infrastructural development. Nigeria is lacking behind in infrastructural development.
Order, please. Order.
And we need the federal government and the states to work hand in hand to develop the infrastructure in Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Jaha, if you are ready.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I'm a Jaha Babao, Chibok Dambo Goza Federal Constituency, including the 82 not yet recovered Chibok girls from a ravaged northeast sub-region. Mr. Speaker, because of paucity of time, I will equally expedite by relying on the submission of Sada Soli Jibia on the provision of Section 141, subsection 1, that contradicts the provision that stand the supremacy of the Nigerian Constitution. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we are all aware that essence and the purpose of every government is the welfare of its citizens. And whenever this welfare is not fairly or evenly distributed, that is going to cause chaos and is going to defeat the purpose of which government is established. I'm going to speak on clause 77 of the bill as submitted by the executive, which stipulates the vertical distribution to be 10% to the federal government, 55% to the state government, and 35% to the local government, while the horizontal distribution should be a 20% based on population, 20% based on equity, and 60% based on derivation. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, governors' forums and other stakeholders have made their submission. I am a bit different from their position, particularly in the area of derivation. As earlier said, derivation is not clearly written or explained or stated whether it's a consumption derivation they mean or they mean generation derivation.
2 minutes more, please.
No, I have, thank you so much for adding me 2 minutes. Now I have 3 minutes, 14 seconds. So what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is they have not stated clearly whether they mean by consumption derivation or derivation based on generation. In as much as their position is consumption derivation, I equally have a reservation on inability or failure on the FIRS to provide the required infrastructure and the technology to track consumption in each and every location.
Honorable Jaha, time up.
You cannot give me 2 minutes and retrieve it again. Everybody is a testimony here. So what I'm trying to say in a nutshell, I still have 2 minutes, 10 seconds. What I'm trying to say in a nutshell, you are distracting me, I will add 2 minutes. What I'm trying to say in a nutshell, there must be clear definition of derivation as far as the governance forum position is concerned. If they don't have the technology to track consumption, and they mean the 30% is derivation based on generation, where the 30% of the VAT collected is going to be released to the areas where these companies are headquartered, I have a reservation. That is another thing. Secondly, on the issue of increasing the VAT, we are all on the same page that VAT should not be increased. But let us use the advantage in this reform to increase collation efficiency from 20% to at least 70% as is obtained in other African countries of the world. Absolutely. Lastly, I want to use this opportunity to correct the impression that minimum wage earners are not going to be taxed because their income is not up to 800,000. By my calculation and a simple arithmetic, my calculation is 70,000 naira being a minimum wage times 12 months is 840,000. In other words, that particular threshold should be increased to either 900,000 or something above that. Lastly, okay, it's corrected. Then lastly, on the issue of family income tax.
Babo, please.
Yes, I will conclude. He was the one that gave me additional 2 minutes. I'm trying to exercise my right.
He said this is the last one.
What I'm trying to say in a nutshell is the family income tax should be clearly defined and identify what are taxable as far as family income is concerned. And the inheritance clause must be clearly written for every Nigerian to see that inheritance should not, at whatever level of influence, be part and parcel of taxes to be deducted when and wherever the need arises. I thank you very much for listening. I thank the leadership for taking a diplomatic approach to solve this problem. And we are in support of this bill to pass the second reading so that during the public hearing, each and every stakeholder will be allowed to put in their best. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker will be Honorable Mohammed Buba Jajiri.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Engineer Mohammed Buba Jajiri. I represent the good people of Fika Fune Federal Constituency. I'm from Yobe State, Mr. Speaker. All over the world, tax reforms are very common now. And it is a welcome development for Nigeria also to have reforms in its tax administration. However, I have some reservations, Mr. Speaker, and I want to align with an earlier speaker, Honorable Sada Soli, when he talked about fiscalization, because fiscalization can never happen without appropriate data. And unless we have the appropriate data, that is when we will be able to get these reforms right, Mr. Speaker. Secondly, the federal government as well, at the center, and the subnationals as well, must have that political will, Mr. Speaker, to fund these reforms. We cannot just pass reforms and then all of a sudden we don't have the will to fund such a project. And then I want to also talk about a reservation, Mr. Speaker, which is the FIRS itself. Currently, they don't have a corporate headquarters that is well equipped, Mr. Speaker. And their project is yet to be completed. And the political will I'm talking about is for the federal government to make sure that the FIRS headquarters in Abuja here is completed and well equipped so that they can have, a national revenue data center where all these reforms and taxes...
Honorable Baba, please 2 minutes more.
Mr. Speaker, I want to align also with the last speaker, Honorable Jaha, about a clear definition of what the term derivation means. In the public hearing and the consideration of the bills, we will come out with clear terms and explanations as to our reservations about the tax reform bills. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable. The next speaker will be Honorable Donald Ojogo. Donald Ojogo. Is he around? No?
I'm around, sir, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, please go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, my name is Donald Kimekamba Ojogo. I speak for the good people of Ilaje South, the federal constituency. I'm from Ondo State. Mr. Speaker, being asked to speak at the tail end of a debate has its consequences. Unfortunately, most of the things I jotted down have been taken out from my mouth, particularly by my leader, Honorable Al Mustafa, and Honorable Jimmy Benson. In essence, I adopt what they said. But, sir, there are two key areas I want to highlight. One, this House has a duty to ensure that there is adequate and effective deployment of technology as we work on these bills. It is very key. I say this because of inherent leakages, and it's a perennial problem that we have in society. As smart as we think we may be, there are those outside who are targets of the revenue generation drive that we're embarking upon, who are as smart as what I can call technology itself. So we must be able to put in place very effective, efficient, and dependable measures to ensure that there are no leakages as we embark on this journey. Secondly, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Donald, 2 minutes more, please.
Thank you. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, with what we're embarking upon, it means that there will be more money to be subnationals. But there is more to be done as we have more money in our purses. How well are we prepared to ensure that there is adequate synergy between these states, between all the subnationals, that is the states, and the local governments, with the emerging regional commissions that we are trying to put in place? Because it's very key. All these our efforts will amount to nothing if we do not have very potent measures in place to ensure that there is serious synergy between the subnationals.
Honorable Donald Ojogo, Honorable Donald Ojogo, time up, please.
Mr. Speaker, lastly, let me join others to thank you for this wonderful consensus building that you have done. It is not an easy task. It could have been possible only because of your industry that you have put into these efforts of this National Assembly. I thank you for what you have done by joining others, and I wish all of us the best as I support these bills to proceed to the next legislative level of the committee. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The next speaker will be Honorable Jonathan Gaza. Jonathan Gaza, is he around? He's not around. Honorable Beatrice Laori.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. My name is Kwamoti Beatrice Laori. I speak for the people of the Amsa Numan Lamurde Federal Constituency. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I stand up to say that these bills, in as much as we need reforms, there are certain things and areas that we need to look at. We are a federating unit, and but most of these bills are against our federation. As we know, PE is a state tax, but this bill is taking over. And these bills specifically also goes against the provision of Section 162 and paragraph 32 of the first schedule by observing the functions and duties of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission. And this is a serious infringement that has to be looked into. Also, Section 75 gives the president unlimited powers. And this is dangerous in this our climate, and it has to be defined clearly. Given the president unfettered discretion and unlimited powers, I think it's open to abuse, And we need to look seriously into this clause to make sure that it's not used against the very people that it intend to protect. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I so submit.
Thank you, Honorable. The next speaker will be Honorable Uduak. Is Honorable Uduak around? No? Honorable Base Akiba? Is he around? Honorable Mohammed Chiroma?
My Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, I'm Honorable Mohammed Chiroma, representing the good people of Geza Wagabasa Federal Constituency. I'm from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, much has been said about the bill, its good aspects, but my position is on the implementation. The House has passed a lot of bills, a lot of motions, but when it comes to implementations, it's a different story altogether. The bill we are trying to pass, there has been a lot of issues on implementation, the issue of data, corrective data, and others on how to capture these issues. So my take is on the implementation. I don't know on what clause we are going to effectively put implementation clause so that most of what we are saying should be in tandem when it comes to implementation of the tax reform bill. First, the second issue, Mr. Speaker, is on the issue of Nigerian Revenue Service bill. The chief executive of the bill, the chief executive officer is the same chairman of the board. So my recommendation is the board should have a separate chairman with so that it will be in tandem with the corporate governance of the Nigerian Revenue Service, separating the position of the chairman of the board from the chief executive. And the board members should be from the 6 geographical zones so that it will reflect the federal character and it will definitely bring up efficiency in the system. My Honorable Speaker, I do submit. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. Our next speaker will be Honorable Egewi David.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I remain Ogel David Agada, member representing Oju of the Federal Constituency. I'm from Benue State, the food basket of the nation, and by the special grace of God, a proud Igede son. Mr. Speaker, it has been an interesting discussion on this all-important tax bill. My honorable colleagues have spoken to this bill. So many of them have already highlighted some of my points I wish to speak about. But having said this, I will still go on to say that Mr. President have thought it very wise in trying to harmonize the duplication of taxing in our country. And also, to also note and to tell our members, my fellow honorable colleagues, that no one can build our country except by ourselves. And in doing that, we must be ready for that sacrifice to be made. And I think this is part of the sacrifice. Having said the issue of derivation, I just want to say a little. Looking at it, in my own summary, is simply eat as we produce. And on that note, Mr. Speaker, while we are going on this, I will still want to make my own appeal to even the executive, like some of us that are coming from a state where agriculture is our topmost, that this fighting of fighting of the insecurity that is ongoing should be intensified so that we can go back to our farm to have more of this agricultural produce. So, Mr. Speaker, I stand and to support this tax bill as my other colleagues have supported the bill for this second reading. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues.
Thank you. The next to speak is Honorable Isa Mohammed Anka.
Thank you very much, able speaker. My colleagues, my name is Honorable Isa Mohammed Anka, representing Anka Talata Mofara constituency. I'm from Zamfara State.
Please kindly stick to your 2 minutes, Honorable. You know, as a former PAMSEC, I know you can talk for hours if not guided.
I will also talk as a professional, sir. First, I want to correct an erroneous point. I think it was made by one Honorable Johnson that the existing laws are obnoxious, 1930s or so. The fact of the matter is that levies and taxes was reviewed during General Obasanjo, 1998, and that is the existing laws that is going to be reviewed or is being reviewed as we are talking. Having said that, sir, those laws or that law that was reviewed in 1998, most of the taxes, if you analyze them list by list, the federal government has 9 lists of taxes. State government has over 10. But if you, break them, the state government has over 12. And then the local government has about 20, although the heading is 11. The point I want to make here is this, that why should the federal government harmonize taxes when most of the taxes are from the state and local governments? So these are the issues that in other words, it is more suited to the state government and the local government. This is a constitutional issue which we have to look at. This is very, very important. A colleague from Kano, sir, talked about implementation, his worriness. That is very, very important too. Of all the board you are talking about, go back to section 13, subsection 1 of the proposed law. The board chairman is empowered to appoint a secretary. But which secretary, sir? It has to be rotated. I was a chairman board of internal revenue. Most of the implementations are.
Honorable Anka, please.
Thank you very much. But we have 11 positions which we have enumerated by my, together with my honorable colleagues, 7 of us, which during the public hearing we are going to present them. And we will be very happy if these, points will be taken care of. However, sir, let's look at the issue of consultancy. This is a very, very serious issue. One of the reasons of this proposed bill is to reduce multiple taxation. So I wonder how you reduce multiple taxation when at the same time you are talking of bringing consultancy into the issue of tax. The past 2 chairmen...
Honorable Anka, please.
Thank you very much, sir. Like I said, our points will be presented at that meeting, and we hope it will be looked into when it comes to public hearing. Thank you. We very much support of the passing of the second leg of the.
Thank you, Honorable colleague. Honorable Buffer.
The People's Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Aliyu Bappa Misau, an accountant and a fellow. Mr. Speaker, the principle of these bills are definitely good and excellent, but naturally, there are some defects that need to be addressed. As my colleague said, Part 1 of the General Provision, Section 69(1), relevant tax authority may deploy technology and automate tax administration process, including tax assessment, collection, and accounting. Then Section 2, a relevant tax authority may deploy any technology, including third-party payment. Mr. Speaker, sir, in December, the total VAT distributed for state and local governments stood at about 848 billion, 355,700. Just take 1% of that. It translates to a very huge sum of money. And again, Mr. Speaker, the Federal Inland Revenue Board is being paid what is called cost of collection. If they're being paid a percentage on the cost of collection, why should we again engage somebody to, as a consultant, to be paid? I am in tandem with the opinion of my colleague. Again, sir, as regards the corporate governance, it is in the presentation that they are to determine their salaries and wages. I think it is to be done with the National Salaries and Wages Commission. We have been having problems with so many of these agencies whereby they are left to decide how much they are going to be paid. And as a member of the public accounts, we have been having this problem continuously and persistently with some of these agencies. Therefore, when determining the salaries and allowances, it has to be in conformity with which is to be obtained or in collaboration with the National Wages Commission. Mr. Speaker, so many of us have spoken very well on this bill. And to cut it short, Mr. Speaker, I commend the Governors Forum that have looked into this bill and solved 90% of the lacuna that, if not solved, believe you me, this sitting wouldn't have been done. And again, to you, Mr. Speaker, for having the wisdom to talk to virtually all and sundries, all of us here, one after the other, in ensuring today's sitting is done in a humble, matured way. Thank you very much for this opportunity for piloting the affairs of this House, Mr. Speaker. This is the opinion of virtually all of us here, that the way and manner you are conducting this sitting is commendable, and we urge you to continue. And precisely, Mr. Speaker, I want to say this: when we are to come for clause by clause acceptance, please, we will want you to preside so that clause by clause matters can be attended to it without, because sometimes you say,
Honorable Mr. please.
My time go?
Please.
Okay, 1 second. Clause 1 to clause 10 are carried. Mr. Speaker, on these bills, they are not going to be carried in that manner. It is going to be carried word by word, letter by letter. Thank you.
Time up, Honorable Musau. Thank you. Time up.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Honorable Dominic.
Thank you, our Speaker. My name remains Honorable Engineer Dominic Ifeanyi Chukwuokafo, and I speak for Nigerians starting for Agota Federal constituency in Anambra State, including the performing governor of that state, Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, whom I also represent. I'm from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, a lot have been said on this tax reform bill. A lot of honorable colleagues have spoken very intelligently. Let me use the opportunity to commend all of us on the matured manner that we have conducted ourselves, comparing the first day that this bill was presented to us. Let me, on the same time, in order not to repeat what my honorable members have actually said, let me join my voice to commend our Speaker for his maturity in conducting this House and for the ample time he also gave us to consult widely with our constituents so that we were not rushed, as if our opinions do not matter. And finally, I wish to implore all of us to join in ensuring that this bill passes the second reading. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Midala.
Mr. Speaker, Ian Zazau, the People's Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Dr. Midala Usman Balami. I represent the good and dynamic people of Askira Uba, Howell Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Borno State. Mr. Speaker, please permit me, while we discuss this very critical reformation, so that I will draw our attention to a few things that I think is of critical importance to us in Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, you agree with me that a popular saying said that you must be alive to save lives. And this has to do with some of the priorities we are considering right now. Having come from Borno State, and if you look at the level of insecurities across Nigeria, I think looking at the energy and the resources that have been channeled to this bill, it is important as a legislators we embedded in this consideration that security of lives and property should be given urgent and special attention the way this bill is being given. For instance, Mr. Speaker, if you go to Borno State, you see that the biggest road leading from Damboa to almost 8 LGAs have been blocked. I think, sir, this is part of the bill. People that are alive that will pay for a bill, please, let us make this very clear. Mr. Speaker, some of this, what I'm saying, it has to do with the economic incomes of some of our places that are agrarian in nature. Some of the places that have been blocked for so long, if it is prioritized and given attention, I think it will open up economic income, and therefore it will make an ease for the payment of tax and other reformation that is taking place. Mr. Speaker, I want to join my colleagues to say that you have handled these particular bills with a diplomatic approach, and I will also join together to say that it's a very good reformation, but please, the security of lives and property should be given attention across Nigeria so that we will not be standing every day for 1 minute to pray for the loss of lives across Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will join also to say that no increment of VAT should be permitted in this particular consideration. Just as other speakers have already spoke in the earlier before me, that please no increment in the VAT should be permitted in these bills. Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome. Honorable Toyin. Honorable Toyin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Oluwatoyin Fayenka. I represent the good people of Musi, True Federal Constituency. I'm from Lagos State. Mr. Speaker, I want to sincerely appreciate your leadership and that of the Mr. President. This bill is win-win for the small businesses. The small businesses owners will thrive if this bill is eventually passed, while the bigger businesses shall continue to sustain themselves. The low-income earner will not pay much more higher again as it were. Sir, this is a clear demonstration of democracy. When this bill was first brought up, many interests, many debates came up, and then the president and the presidency took it upon themselves to consult more widely. This is evidence of democracy. No one could have done it better under democracy. Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, I must commend you the way and manner you handled this.
Honorable Toyin Fayinka, 2 minutes more, sir.
Thank you very much. It is clear exhibition of your maturity. And then this 10th Assembly has successfully shamed and disappointed those people that called us rubber stamp at the inception. We have allowed everybody to hear their views. So if this bill could be brought, and this is the third or fourth month, we are still debating. That is to show that we are not rubber stamp of a good listener. Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, I want to salute your courage. The 10th member of this House Assembly, the members of the 10th Assembly, thank you and congratulations. We have shamed again those people that sat down without the confinement of their rooms, calling us rubber stamp. We have exhibited decorum and maturity. I want to support and appeal to my colleagues that we should allow this bill to go through second reading. I so submit. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you. Honorable Abdul Samad.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I remain Abdul Samad Dasuki, I representing Kebe Tambuwal. Honorable Speaker, I would like to just adopt and accept what you've said. I wouldn't want to repeat myself because most of the things I would like to say have been said. After that, Mr. Speaker, I would like to raise an observation which has to do with data gathering that is contained in this bill. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, in an event this House allows this bill to go for second reading and public hearing, I will plead that revenue mobilization should give all the relevant data that is being used to share what we are talking about, in view of the fact that majority of the funds that are going to the states, local governments, and even the federal government is assumption. And I stand to be corrected because revenue mobilization has the responsibility to do that, and they have highlighted that. So I'm pleading, in an event it passes, the first thing is, how have you been sharing this? Because we don't have data to get what is actually coming from XYZ. So please, I will plead if it gets to that level. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I think the issue of VAT, we know what we are going through as a nation. We have a golden opportunity. As of today, VAT is 5% and is proposed 7%. I will propose we reduce it to 3%. We can reduce inflation. We want to reduce inflation. Yesterday, here on the floor, we are talking about telecommunications. Last week, NPA increased its tax. The week before, customs. So we have an opportunity now to bring succor to our people. I remember one of the first motions in this House after removal of subsidy. How can we reduce the pains of the average Nigerian? So I think we, as the People's House, we have a golden opportunity. This 5%, we can make it 3%. And I believe if we do that, this is one of the first steps to curb the inflation that we are facing. As at December 2024, inflation was almost 35%. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, a golden opportunity in this bill is before us to reduce the pains of the average Nigerian. And I believe this honorable House will support that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Honorable Dennis Agbo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Dennis Nnamdi Agbo. I represent the highly enterprising people of Ibueze North, Udenu Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Enugu State. I would like to join my colleagues to commend the engagements, the consultation that has enabled the peaceful constitution of the general principles of these very important bills. Quickly, I would like us to know At the end of the day, these bills are going to lead to more incremental revenue from taxation of the people of Nigeria. Now, I want to commend the appointment of the ombudsman according to this bill, because when revenue is being derived from the extractive industry, people can be passive. Citizens can be passive. They can overlook so many things. But when revenue is being raised from taxing people, the monies are coming from the people of Nigeria, they are not going to be that they are not going to be that passive. So the appointment of the ombudsman is very important. The concessions have been made. Initially, the derivation was up to 80%, has been reduced to 30, 20, 50. That is very good, and the governors are commended for this. The things about TET fund, net fund, NASENI, that is very, very all right. Relief for the poor. This bill actually seeks to relieve tax burden from the poor. Anyhow you look at it, when you critically look at the bill, it relieves the tax burden from the poor. And it also, the poor and the vulnerable groups. And it also exempts food, agriculture, and the renewable energy from taxation. That is highly commendable. Finally,
Honorable colleague, please. Round up, please. Round up, please.
I will round up right now. The powers of the head of revenue should be under our searchlight. That is the last thing I would like to say. So that we will be able to tweak it when the need arises. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Rashid from Gombe.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Abdullah Rashid, member representing the Kunafada Federal Constituency from Gombe State. First of all, let me align with the earlier speakers to commend the Speaker and the leadership of this House for giving us a peaceful and enabling environment to consider the second reading of these important national tax bills. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, also for allowing me to say my vote on behalf of my constituency on these important bills. I have studied the bills, the four of them, and I have a little reservation on two of these bills. HB 1759, with specific sections 146, 59, 16, 65, and 88. The other bill is 1756, with specific sections 77 and 82. All these bills, I'm a member of Finance Committee, and I assured my constituents that all the observations concerning this section of the bills, we will make sure when this bill is referred to the committee, we do the needful to ensure that all their input to lobby my colleague, if this input are for the betterment and good listing for Nigerians, we will make sure that all these things are put and amended during the public hearing and even consideration of deal bills at the committee of the whole. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable. The next speaker is Honorable Benedict.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Ben Itanabene. I represent Okbe, Saple, Uwe Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Delta State.
Please, can you speak louder? Speak to the microphone.
Okay. I'm from Delta State, Mr. Speaker. Let me join many others who have talked my mind on the issues already, so I don't want to repeat, myself on it. Ordinarily, Mr. Speaker, as a member of Labour Party and opposition, I should be opposing what is presented, by the ruling party. But because, yes, constructively, for sure. But because this bill, touches the very fundamental economic policy of government, which in the recent time, Nigerians have not been enjoying the good dividends of democracy, such that hunger has become a very, very serious issue. We all must put heads together and see how best, irrespective of political party and interest, to see how best we can make Nigeria a better place, especially for those who actually needed support. It's on that ground, Mr. Speaker, that I am proposing and supporting that this bill should go to the next legislative level. Mr. Speaker, I will thank you so much. The first time the bill was read, it was cantankerous, but so much has been done by you to see that
Honorable Benedict,
views
time up, sir.
Heard from opposing side, and I thank God that we are progressing in the right direction. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Izechi, is he around? No? Honorable Hassan Hussein.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Hassan Sheikh Hussein. I represent the good people of Nasarawa Federal Constituency. I'm from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I stand to contribute to the 2024 proposed tax reform bills debate. Mr. Speaker, as you are rightly aware, the 2024 proposed tax reform bills have elicited responses from several quarters. While the reforms had its merit, the following provisions have made Nigerians, particularly my constituents, apprehensive about it. Permit me to discuss just a few. The reform proposes a gradual increase in VAT rates from 7.5% to 10% effective January 2025, 12.5% by January 2026, and 15% by 2030. This gradual increment could increase the cost of building materials and other goods, which the average Nigerians will ultimately bear. The proposed tax reform can widen economic disparities and the existing inequalities, given that certain regions will benefit more than others from the changes. For example, states that receive more VAT than they contribute might face challenges under the new allocation model. As per provision of Section 59 of the NTB, agencies like TED Fund will have 0% funding from development levy by 2030, and NIDA, NASENI suffer the same fate by 2027. Yet, there has been no explicit mention of where these agencies will get their future funding. Anything that affects the functioning of these agencies constitutes a great danger to the state of our tertiary education, information technology, science and technology, and innovation in Nigeria. The bills propose granting the president sweeping discretionary powers, which have often been abused and may not be helpful for the country's health. In light of the above, and considering the resentment these provisions have elicited from my constituents and other concerned Nigerians,
Honorable Hassan,
I find it extremely difficult to support these bills unless these areas are amended to address the concern raised by Nigerians. Honorable Mr. Speaker, I so submit.
Thank you, my brother. The next to speak is Honorable Egidi Sani from Kogi. Egidi Sani, is he around?
Yes, I'm around, sir.
Okay, please go ahead.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Sani Egidi Ibrahim, member representing Ajakuta Federal Constituency. I am from Kogi State. Mr. Speaker, good afternoon, honorable colleagues. I think much has been said about this bill. Very interestingly, on behalf of the constituents, on behalf of Nigerians. Mr. Speaker, I am privileged to be given opportunity to speak on behalf of my constituency and Nigeria about this very important bill today. I am not going to waste much time again because much has been spoken about the important advantage of the bill to Nigerians and the state of this country. I have only one area of concern that I want to draw the attention of the House, especially granting the sole authority to the FIRS for revenue collection. Yes, of course, it may improve efficiency and reduce leakages, but it raises concern, especially constitutional problems, potential litigation risk, and conflict with the state government's physical power, and if other agencies like Nigeria Customs Services, Nigeria Port Authority, and the state IRS bodies previously had the legal and backing to collect revenue, and if there's any unilateral change may lead to breach of existing contracts with private entities, potential litigations from those agencies challenging the FIRS monopoly. To avoid legal dispute, this House is a must and ensure, and legislative amendments should be carried out before the bill is given consideration. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, having gone through this total package of tax reform 2024, I wish to move.
Honorable Ibrahim.
I wish to move that the bill.
Honorable Ibrahim, 2 minutes, please.
Okay. Yes, like I said, please, looking at the package, the total package of this tax reform bill, and also raise the concern of areas of constitutional amendment and other areas that need to be given consideration, I wish to move that the bill be passed for second reading and be given accelerated passage in the interest of the nation and for the benefit of our citizens. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
You are moving, eh? Honorable Sadiq Tafida from Taraba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ian Zazzau, the People's Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Honorable Sadiq Abbas Tafida, member representing Jalingo, Yoro, and the Federal Constituency from Taraba State. Mr. Speaker, we commend the drive and commitment of Mr. President to effect tax reforms to further grow this economy, Mr. Speaker, and it's highly appreciated by Nigerians. But, Mr. Speaker, I would like to draw our attention to the aspect of our informal sector in this country, Mr. Speaker. Instead of increasing our taxes, Mr. Speaker, if we are able to formalize the informal sector, we may even raise our revenues 5 times instead of increasing the taxes. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, I would like us to focus on increasing efficiency and effectiveness of the overall tax collection mechanization, and then automation of and modernization of tax collections, Mr. Speaker, instead of increase in these taxes. Mr. Speaker, I would also like to draw our attention to the many discrepancies in these tax bills that we should make sure we look at them clearly before passing them, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Sadiq. Honorable Nyampa.
I want to say...
I know accountants don't speak too much. You will impress us by speaking for just 1 minute.
Thank you, Excellency, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. I'm Dauda Zakaria Nyampa, member representing the people of Madagali, Michika Federal Constituency from Adamawa State. Mr. Speaker, you have spoken, and I will abide by that rule because you have brought us to this level very peaceful and very cordial. And because of this, I'm going to speak very briefly, sir. First, in the whole of this law, there is a place they made mention of a police officer. I think that phrase, that term should be removed from this law before they begin to use the tax law to unnecessarily imply justice on some people. Secondly, there are other sides that I feel one of the challenges Nigerians have on the tax implementation in this country is because they lack confidence in the administration of tax in this country. This law should be able to give a lot of encouragement that will reduce the suffering of the people in this country, that will also encourage our people paying their tax or even allowing the increase of tax. But at this moment, the country is suffering. There's a lot of poverty. There is a lot of unemployment in this country. I feel as this tax contain issues like TED fund,
Honorable Yampa,
other very important.
2 minutes, 2 minutes more, please.
Okay, that the tax have captured some agency of government where the money will be transmitted. I think we should also include in that law some agency that will bring empowerment, employment to this country. And that is why I feel there should be improvement, Mr. Speaker. As simple as that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Alex Mascot.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Alexander Mascot Ikweje, and I represent a constituency that amalgamates a people proficient in dexterity and efficient in their distinctive tapestry. I speak of no other constituency but Abadot and Aba South. Mr. Speaker, firstly, I would like to commend the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for his sagacity, for his pertinacity and grit to ensure that this bill gets to the National Assembly for consideration. Mr. Speaker, a popular senator once said, if you speak the truth, you die. You tell a lie, you die. Therefore, I would prefer to speak the truth. I think it will be more palatable. Mr. Speaker, time. Mr. Speaker, am I protected, Mr. Speaker?
No, maybe you should answer us.
Well, we speak the truth, we still die. So
order, please. Order, please. Order, please.
Mr. Speaker, it is true that the current structure, tax structure in the country is quite antiquated. And the modification of some of our laws is a good thing. Then again, it is important that we take cognizance of the level of degradation, destitution, and deprivation that currently exists. So when we say we are going to increase the value-added tax from 5% incrementally to 7.5% and then to 10%, it gives me the impression that we are totally insensitive to the current state of our people. Don't get me wrong. This bill is beautiful, it's revolutionary, it propels the governors to think outside the box and come up with very clinical ways to generate their own revenue and tap into the resources that they have, that they are endowed with in their various states. But, Mr. Speaker, it is important that we take cognizance of how this country has removed the subsidies from fuel and petroleum products.
Honorable Alexander Mascot Ikweje.
I'm about to round up, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Now, Mr. Speaker, we removed subsidy, we increased the electricity tariff, and also we're about to shoot up on this one, the VAT. All I am saying, by the time this bill, which I fully support, should get to the, public hearing, I am appealing to all Nigerians to remain vigilant. Let us all come together and come up with clinical ways to make sure that the contents and the clauses in this bill is commensurate and is in tandem with the way we live our lives. So, Mr. Speaker, on that note, I just want to say that I'm in support of this very bill, and I pray that it truly and positively revolutionizes our nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Garba Inua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Honorable Inua Garba, member representing Yamatu Deba Federal Constituency from Gombe State. Mr. Speaker, I know you know I am a different person today because I have not been jumping here and there. Why? Because knowing fully I am one of the strong advocates against this bill. Before now, I am confident that our struggle have started yielding results based on what the majority leader have said on which triggers the consultation to all the stakeholders from state governors, ACF, all other stakeholders, which bring about this suggestion that the areas that we are afraid of have been observed and to an extent has been cleared. Some. Let me appreciate Mr. Speaker for giving us the listening ears, for showing the leadership and way forward, by bringing us together to understand why we should understand the importance of giving second opportunity for second reading, so that all other submissions from stakeholders from all quarters in vertical and horizontal interest will partake, will participate, will contribute in during the public hearing. On this note, I'm calling, like my brother Mascot said, all and sundry Nigerians, now the bill, by the grace of God, if we do give
Honorable Garba Inua, Honorable Garba Inua, please.
For second reading, it will go to the public to give their best. So let them be ready. We'll be there with them. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, the essence and the fundamental of this bill, I understand, is to allow government to have more revenues. Let me make this appeal directly to Mr. President and all stakeholders in Nigeria. When this bill is passed into law, it will give Nigeria opportunity to have more revenues. That is more money.
Right, Honorable.
Let me...
Mercy.
Please, leader. I know you know what I'm going to say, which affects your constituency. Mr. Speaker, we have lingering issues which affect the economy of Nigeria, which are just 5. If these monies were raised, I want to make an appeal to government of Nigeria under Mr. President that should be up and doing in looking at the recharging of Lake Chad Basin is fundamental. There is economic viability. The oil exploration money will help.
Confine yourself with the subject matter,
please. Mambila hydroelectric project will support the economy of this country. Baro Port project that has been abandoned will support Nigeria. Dredging of river revitalize the Nigerian economy.
Please round up.
With this, Mr. Speaker, I raise my case until we meet in the public hearing. Thank you very much.
The next to speak is Honorable Dabo Ismail Haruna, if he's still around, please.
No, I am around. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Dabo Ismail Aruna, member representing the good people of Toro Federal Constituency, and I'm from Bauchi State. Mr. Speaker, I just want to go straight to a reference point. VAT collection in 2020, VAT was collected, and it was 1.53 trillion. Out of this 1.53 trillion, 51% represented import VAT and international services. The top contributing sector are professional services and telecoms, which is 10.6%. Other manufacturers, 10.07%, commercial and trading, 5.06%, breweries, bottling, and beverage, 3.90%, transport and haulage, 2.84%. If you look at the percentage of VAT collected internally, aside from the one that's international services and import, it constitutes only 20%. While we have so much that we can contribute more than countries like South Africa, Equatorial Guinea, Zambia, that they contributed 70% to their GDP in terms of VAT collection. This happened due to serious corruption in tax administration procedures in Nigeria. Today, we're talking about increasing more revenue in Nigeria, while issue of corruption has not been addressed. If we should go this way, we can increase this tax or have so many ways to generate revenue, and still will not get what we want if we fail to address the issue of corruption. Finally, because of time, Mr. Speaker, under Section 101 of the bill, of the proposed bill, there is a penalty of 1 million naira for those that fail to notify the relevant tax authority is liable to pay an administrative penalty of 1 million naira. So I think we should also include a stiff penalty for those tax officials that will not do their work in accordance to the law by promoting corruption and so on.
Honorable member, please don't distract the speaker. Hold on, please. Just hold on.
With this, I will say thank you for the opportunity given to me, Mr. Speaker. Yes. And may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Chinda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, for yielding the floor to me. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, clearly the spirit of these 4 bills are, in fact, one of the reasons why we are seated here, to get the best for our dear country, Nigeria. These bills all seek to rejig our tax system, which we all agree ought to be rejigged. However, in every law, you have the spirit and the letter of the law. I think that we're in agreement that these bills, the spirit behind them, are good for us as a nation, but we have issues with some of the letters of the law. And these issues we have highlighted here, and I will want to adopt all the highlights thrown by my colleagues. I would not want to repeat them. Safe to say or emphasize on a few areas. We have incremental tax contained in the tax administration law, which is actually the one that appears to be contentious amongst the four. The question one will ask, rather than have tax increase, is it impossible for us to have a decrease of tax? And the answer is no. From all the indices we have seen from the government, including indices that has to do with reduction of inflation, we can have decremental VAT in this bill. And so I want to support Honorable Dasuki that we should look at reduction of VAT. It is possible. Aside that, all the other issues, both the issues of conflict with the Constitution and other laws, and then the issues of ambiguity, I believe that we can tidy them up. One good thing is that innovation is coming. It could be difficult, but it is desirable. And so whilst we oppose some of the letters of the law, we support the spirit of the law in toto. And as parliamentarians, we know the stage at which we can attack those letters and correct them. And we want to assure Nigerians that as we stand as members of this parliament, that those letters, we will monitor them as watchdogs and ensure that the letters are corrected as we have promised. I would therefore say that generally we support this bill, that we put the vote to enable this
Honorable
bill
Kawoje, be
to apply
careful.
to the second
Honorable
reading.
Jaji, be careful, please.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, since we all agree with the spirit and intent of the bills, I will pray that we support the second reading of these bills.
Come and seek for clearance here, please.
At the appropriate time, we dot the I's and cross the T's. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm grateful, my dear colleagues.
Thank you, Leader. The next to speak is Honorable Saad Wada Taura.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Saad Wada Taura, representing the good people of Ringim and Torpero constituency. I'm from Jigawa State. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Though a lot of colleagues have said it, based on my reservations, considerations, contributions from my constituency and my state, and the positions of our leaders, I can see so many things were handled. But, Mr. Speaker, considering the section 187, subsection 1 of the prohibition, the VAT issue, more especially on the agricultural equipment, the prohibition said agricultural equipment to be charged and applied on the VAT. Then later, the agro-business people, who we know, they are local, very common, Nigerians, more especially farmers from Torapero constituency and Ringim Torapero constituency from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, how can this, the way I look at it, cannot be applicable? The way we agree, we are giving comparison to countries like Egypt, Morocco, South Africa, in advanced United States of America. They are all in support of agricultural activities. But going by this prohibition is asking the business, agricultural business people to pay tax or to pay VAT, then later to apply for the refund of such amount of money. It looks so technically robust and difficult for our people to move in such a way, Mr. Speaker. So, among other things, this is the only one remain for me to say something about it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable. Honorable Mohammed Umar Bio, if he's around. Is he? Okay. Honorable Dr. Awalu Gwalabe, is he around? Honorable Dr. Kaleja A. Paul, please, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity, and my dear colleagues. While aligning myself with the major contributions of our colleagues, I'd like to congratulate all of us that we're at the threshold of history. They said history will forgive us for taking a decision, whether right or wrong, but history would never forgive us for not taking a decision. Today we're taking a decision, and I'm sure that history will judge us right. For me, my understanding of the tax bill is about three major components and why I'm supporting it. One is about redistribution of wealth to the components that form Nigeria, as against the hitherto lopsidedness that exists. Secondly, is about the protection of the poor against the rich, because this reform centers on taxing the rich more than the poor. And thirdly, I understand it to mean enhancement of revenue for the country, which of course will enable us to do more on infrastructural development and will also enable us to cater more for our people. Therefore, I urge that the agencies that are in charge of information, the National Orientation Agency, in fact also the Federal Inland Revenue, and other agencies must continuously engage the people, which is what has led us to what we're doing today. The Speaker, you have allowed for enough consultation and engagement, and I therefore commend you, commend your leadership, commend the entire leadership, that we're having the beauty of democracy. We're having a robust contributions from members. And I say I want to thank you. On this note, I plead and urge that we allow this bill to go to the second reading. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Lalu. You have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, thank you for giving me this opportunity to lay my voice on this tax bill. And I will go straight to the point to avoid other protocols and save my time. Mr. Speaker, first of all, the issue of withholding tax. Withholding tax, as the name implies, is to withhold. It's like a provision set aside. It's not actually a tax. It was there to augment company income tax at the end of the financial year. And the general principle of this bill has promoted automated tax bill receipts. And therefore, I wish that at every financial year, when a company has made its own self-assessment return to the tax authorities, and there are excess from that of the withholding tax, that's supposed to be automated reversed back to the company, because the tax authority already have the identification number of that company, the BVN, and the account number to do so. That is one. Secondly, on the issue of the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill, Section 37, which says
where a business produces either no accessible profit or an accessible profit which is less than expected from that business, or the true amount of the accessible profit cannot be readily ascertained, the relevant tax authority may, in case of a resident, assess and charge the taxable person on such a fair and reasonable percentage of the gross income from the trade or business as the relevant tax authority may determine. If you look at the tax bill before us, there is an utmost power on the chairman of the Nigerian Revenue Service based on the Nigerian Revenue Administrative Bill, Section 16, Joint Revenue Board of Nigeria, Section 4, and the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill, Section 87. It has given him utmost power. So in this situation, my opinion is to amend that particular section and make it specific. And generally, where a business has no profit, is a non-taxable investment. And therefore, let us be specific. If a particular income is seen as whether it is 2% or 3%, should be charged when the income of that business is less than a particular amount of money, but not to leave it open as discretionary of the tax authority. Yes. And last is that when you look at the Nigerian tax bill before us, Section 188, which actually talks about 0% charge to VAT. And there are so many products or businesses such as education, fertilizer, local produce, agricultural chemicals, which are good. But in terms of electricity, they said that electricity generated by generation companies, GenCom, and equally the electricity transmission is equally zero. But what about the distribution is not mentioned in this bill? And that is the exact thing that affects the common man directly. So if the generation will have such a waiver and the transmission will have such a waiver, while the distribution will not have, where it affects the generality of the populace and the less average income earner, then there is something wrong. In my own opinion, this particular section needs to be amended and include the distribution in these particular exemptions. And lastly, if...
You said lastly 3 times.
Okay.
So okay. Is it going to be the last?
The final lastly, that one is semi-lastly. So, in terms of issue of derivation, if derivation, because general public look at it from the issue of 13% derivation will come to all companies. Generally, there is a misconception, which therefore bring out what we call expectation gap. To my own opinion, since we generally agree that VAT is a consumption tax, this one is just semantics. Let's change derivation to consumption, period. That's my own opinion. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you.
And I pray that this bill will scale it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is Honorable Bashir Zubairu around? No? Honorable Cyril Godwin? But you spoke already. Okay. Honorable Clement Jimbo? Is he around?
Very well, my amiable speaker. Thank you. My name is Clement Jimbo. I still represent the very good people of Abak, Etemekbu, Ika Federal Constituency. My speaker, let me first commend your dexterity in leadership in still having this house under one envelope as a result of these tax bills. Mr. Speaker, colleagues, let me first draw our attention to what Dr. Miles Monroe of blessed memory said. And I quote, he said, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, you are simply suffering from mild insanity. Mr. Speaker, colleagues, for 95 years, the current tax bills has been in circulation And I want to believe it is the reason why things were not really moving, because we were doing the same thing over and over and over again. And the result was
Professor
not different.
Lillian, you are invited to sit with the leadership from this side. Honorable Judge is waiting for you. Come to this side, please. Professor Lillian, is an instruction. Come and sit next to our Labour leader, please.
So, my dear Speaker, let me commend the executive for the boldness to attack these very critical reforms that will not only move our nation from where we were to where we need to be, but it will holistically change the paradigm of our ways of doing business. One of the items in the
You sit next
proposed bill
to the leader.
I will want to highlight for Nigerians is the departure from headquarter base to place of consumption derivation.
Go to the seat of the deputy
VAT.
minority leader. Deputy
Besides
minority
the
leader.
elimination
Yes, the next one.
of tax
Thank
from
you.
small businesses with operating returns
Honorable
from 0
Jimbo,
to
you have 2 minutes more, please.
50 million naira, it is very commendable. And I will plead with my colleagues to allow this bill to jump the fence of second reading to the parlor of public hearing and into the kitchen of third reading and eventually pass. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Jimbo. The next is Honorable Larry Okonula. Is Honorable Larry around? Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. The People's Speaker. Thank you for yielding to me. I want to thank all our honorable colleagues for their wonderful contribution to this important bill. I want to thank the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for this landmark bill in solving issues that are pertinent to our great nation, Nigeria. To me, this bill addresses two critical, important issues to me: economic stability and the growth of our nation, Nigeria. This bill is designed to create a progressive tax system where the burdens are shared among all citizens. It streamlines the processes, reduce the loopholes, and increase the collections of revenues for our great country to service public services like healthcare, education, and infrastructural development. This bill promotes economic investments and creates a favorable environment for businesses to strive. This bill is an all-important bill for the development of the next generation of Nigeria. So it's a critical step towards making this country stronger and more prosperous. I want to urge all our members, all honorable members, to support this bill. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Honorable Kaoje, please.
The next to speak is Honorable Anemero, if he's around. Is Honorable Anemero around? Okay, please go ahead.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Anamero Dekeri, representing the good people of Isako Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I would like to use this opportunity to salute Mr. President for the courageous step he has taken to reform our tax laws that has long been overdue. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, human society generally is dynamic, and so we expect the dynamism to be extended to the estate laws. Calling for this tax reform at this time cannot be overemphasized. Mr. Speaker, we hope by the time this tax bill is passed into law, that the imbalances we have been experiencing for ages in our income and expenditure will be a thing of the past. While we are advocating for this tax reform, Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, I will also want us to throw more light to our tariffs to discourage our economy be run.
Honorable member, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes more, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The time allocated is almost up. I want us to, as much as we are deliberating on this tax reform, let us also throw more light on our tariffs to discourage our economy that is currently being run on the wheels of importation and encourage local productivity for the common good of all. Finally, Mr. Speaker, Nigeria is one of the countries in sub-Saharan Africa with the least tax to GDP. On this note, I therefore submit that our dear colleagues to support that this bill be read for the second time and passed. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear brother. The next to speak is Honorable Mukhtar Umar Zakari. Mukhtar Zakari, is he around? No?
I'm around. Mr. Speaker.
Yep. Okay. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for yielding the floor to me. My name is Honorable Mukhtar Umar Zakari. I represent Taroni Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, from Kano. Mr. Speaker, I have so many things to say, but due to time, I will limit my submission till we went for the public hearing. But I will limit to 2 items. Mr. Speaker, in 2020, tax was increased between 5% to 75%. And agriculture, health, and education were exempted from tax. However, consumers still face price increase, critical goods and services, price increase in critical goods and services. If the poor and the middle class were not insulated then, Mr. Speaker, I want us to look at them now. If the tax increase now, where are they going to be? Mr. Speaker, the tax committee argues that business with turnover below 50 million are exempted from charging VAT. However, none of the VAT-heavy industries, manufacturer, ICT, mining, comprise small businesses. Large corporations dominate these sectors, meaning that VAT increase will primarily be borne by their consumers, not the business themselves. Even small businesses that serve as distributors or retailers of the VAT-liable good must pass these taxes on to consumers, further eroding the spending power of the poor and the middle class. So, Mr. Speaker, I want us to look at these things at the public hearing so that we will insulate our poor and the middle class people. I so submit, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Honorable Dr. Luko.
Right Honorable Speaker, the principal officers, ranking and distinguished colleagues.
from discussion, one has seen that this issue of tax is a moving train and cannot be stopped. Mr. Speaker, I acknowledge your wisdom, and the same wisdom I want to appeal to you to appeal to Mr. President. At the smell of the fact that the bill was taken to the National Assembly, there was an increase in revenue, which necessitated Mr. President to increase the budget. In the same vein, for us to be able to explain better to our constituents, we want you to appeal to Mr. President to increase our capital project for our constituents to be able to understand us better.
Honorable, please, stick yourself to the subject matter, please.
Yeah, it's part of it. In this spirit, I want to align that we allow you to go for second reading while we have what to tell our constituents the importance of the bill. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. The next to speak is the leader of the youth, Honorable Alao Akala.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for always considering the youth. I remain Olamiju Wonlo Ayodeji Alao Akala. I represent Nigerians starting from Ogumosho North, South, Orire Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from the Pesete State, Oyo State. Mr. Speaker, it's a very wonderful day today that we're sitting down here debating such a wonderful bill. A bill that will change the course of history, not just for us as parliamentarians, but as Nigerians. This is a bill before us that is going to drive the economic transformation and empower our citizens, and also enhance revenue mobilization while ensuring a conducive and competitive environment for investment to deliver sustained and inclusive growth. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure when we get to the public hearing, a lot of things will be discussed. A lot of information will also be brought out, and we will meet with experts who will also discuss with us. But in generality of this bill, we can say as young people that this bill really brings out the impact of the government in our lives. Because if you look at the bill properly, you know that the low earners are youths. The low earners are young people. So you can see that this bill is really focused on us to ensure that we also benefit from the government as a whole. So we appreciate, Mr. Speaker, for your tenaciousness in presenting this bill and ensuring that we are not a rubber stamp 10th Assembly.
Honorable Akala, 2 more minutes.
Thank you so much, sir. By ensuring that we dissect this bill properly as parliamentarians and bring out all the necessary intricacies of the bill. Like the opposition said the other time, when it was one championing it. But now we're able to merge together to understand that this bill is needed. No matter whatever it is, the bill is needed at this particular time in our history. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to speak on such a wonderful bill. I appreciate this. Thank you so much, my colleagues. God bless you all.
Thank you. The next to speak is Honorable Jeremiah Umaru.
Thank you, Excellency. The Right Honorable Speaker, my respected colleagues. My name is Honorable Dr. Jeremiah Umaru, ACA. I represent Akwanga, Nasarawa, Egomwamba Federal Constituency. I'm from Nasarawa State. First, I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker, Your Excellency, for the opportunity to speak on this very important matter. This bill is coming at a time that the issue of revenue leakages has become very alarming and worrisome in this nation. Today, we have the issue of the 1% stamp duties alone, that if we are to look at it being addressed and proposal submitted, you discover that we're going to achieve a lot. From reports, stamp duties, especially in one sector, the oil and gas sector alone, there is a report that over 200 million USD is yet to be remitted, by companies in the oil and gas sector. We are not even looking at other sectors, just oil and gas sector. And this is not because of maybe their fault, but because of the act, the law, the stamp duties law, is archaic is old and so on, and most of these companies take advantage of this. So this today, I am specifically mentioning this because it has addressed, the proposal has addressed this act or law. And I want to support completely this bill and to also advise and encourage the government to ensure effective implementation of this law.
2 more minutes, please.
And to also call on the tax authorities, revenue collection agencies to strengthen their collection, accounting, reporting processes, because within the system, there are a lot of loopholes, so they should be strengthened. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to also say a little. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Akil Adi Abiodun is our next speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Abiodun Isaac Akinlade is my name, representing you as South Ipuka Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Ogun State. Mr. Speaker, let me also join others to salute the courage of our president and also the maturity of Mr. Speaker and my honorable colleagues on the way we have been discussing about this bill. Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to be a member of this parliament. Mr. Speaker, to occupy a position of authority is to occupy a position of responsibility. You are a responsible leader, and that's why we are standing behind you today, because we believe that Nigeria must be great again. This tax reform is just about people, and this is people's parliament. When we look at 2 or 3 areas, this tax bill will increase the take-home of the lowest workers, because they will not pay again. It also reduces the pay tax to those earning a monthly salary that's below 1.7 million naira. And these are the people we are representing here. Also, Mr. Speaker, in the opinion of the executive, there's a determination, a genuine one, by Mr. President to encourage and support the state government by reducing the fact that come to the state, that come to the federal government, and increasing the tax that go to the state government. This in itself will increase the funds available for the state, and they will be able to take and do a lot of things for our people. My dear colleagues, I want to encourage us that we should allow this bill to pass through the second reading, and also that the Nigerians will have the opportunity of contributing their own quota when we get to the public hearing. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
The representative of the Chinese people in this Congress, Honorable Jafar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My dear honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Jafaru Yakubu. I represent good people of Bali Gasol Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Taraba State, and I'm here this afternoon to lend my voice on these very, very important bills before this hallowed chamber. Mr. Speaker, it's a notorious fact that reforms are done and have been presented all over the world. Reforms in the health sector, agri, economic. Mr. Speaker, I was opportune to travel recently to Morocco. I have seen where reforms in the health sector is currently going on in Morocco as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic that hit the world. Morocco are going to commission 10,000 hospital bed capacity as a result of a reform welcome from the health sector. Mr. Speaker, we commend the presidency for presenting these bills, HB 1756, HB 17575859. It's a notorious fact that at the beginning it was so chaos, the tension was high, but because of the wisdom given to a leader and given to you, Mr. Speaker, you are able to make the atmosphere so conducive. Mr. Speaker, my concern here is specifically on the VAT increase. The VAT increase, which reached 7.5% to 10% in 2025, going down to 12 to 15% in 2030, which is not good, which is mostly the fears and challenges of our people. Mr. Speaker, that has been taken care by the Nigerian Governors Forum, and I'm here to stand before you to adopt the position of the Nigerian Governors Forum because I personally spoke to my governor and he has asked me to adopt that position. Mr. Speaker, on the other side of the bill, there are
Honorable Jafaru.
ugly part of the bill.
Honorable Jafaru.
The beautiful part
Just
of the
2
bill,
minutes
Mr.
more,
Speaker,
please.
On the issue of the exemptions of essential goods and agri-products from VAT to safeguard, that will safeguard the welfare of citizens and promote agricultural productivity. Mr. Speaker, I hereby support in totality the passage of this bill, the second reading of this bill, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Peter Ifeanyi.
The People's Speaker, I thank you for yielding the floor to me. My name is Honorable Ambassador Peter Ifeanyi Uzokwe. I speak for the good people of Nnewi North, the Japanese capital of Nigeria, Nnewi South, and the Ekusigo constituency. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for yielding the floor to me, and I want to pass the message from my constituents in supporting the passage of this bill to second reading. During our town hall meeting, they agreed with all the facts of the bills, but they say I should pass 2 messages to the executive. Number one, they want to see through efficiency in collections and implementations of these bills. 2, they want more resources to be allocated to education, health, and infrastructures, especially roads that are the only connection between the poor and the rich. They noted that it is not true that the poor will not be taxed, but because other...
Honorable Batera, please.
They believe that other things being taxed are being consumed by them too. So we should be having the poor at heart before passing of this.
Ambassador.
Ambassador, Mr. Speaker, I thank you, the People's Speaker.
Thank you.
Honorable Ado Dogwa.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على نبي الكريم. Your Excellency, the Speaker, my respected colleagues, members of this great assembly, I am Honorable Ado Dogwa. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I represent the people of Chudunwada Dogwa Federal Constituency, and I am from Kano State. Your Excellency, my respected colleagues, I think I will have to adopt the approach by most members that today, given the sense of responsibility and looking not only at the body language of members that are seated in these great chambers, Mr. Speaker, that the mood here is not only solemn, but it is patriotic. Our members have really exhibited a great sense of patriotism, dedication, and commitment to actually discuss a matter that is, of course, of very critical importance and relevance to the welfare and well-being of our people. Mr. Speaker, like I said, the strategy adopted by all of us is to, first of all, commend you. Mr. Speaker, I repeat, we commend you. We commend you for the legislative diplomacy which you have actually inculcated in the discharge of your duties as the presiding officer of the 10th House of Representatives. This diplomacy, Mr. Speaker, is what has kept this House under one roof, united. Mr. Speaker, it is this experience and this sagacity that has made possible a very pleasant and palatable discussions of these important bills on the floor of this House with everyone flying on the same page. Mr. Speaker, I want to repeat that today I stand a proud member of the 10th House of Representatives under your watch. I am proud because as a representative of the people, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, today we are putting on record that this is indeed the House of Nigerian people. This is indeed a House that can stand non-partisan when the interest of our people out there is at stake. Mr. Speaker, I am proud that for the first time in my history of being a parliamentarian of over 33 years in the floor of this House of Representatives, I have seen under your leadership and by extension the leadership of the other body of principal officers, a strategy that put on hold an executive bill, not only one bill, executive bills that came with all the speed to this House of Representatives. On hold because you said, hold it until we consult. Hold it and let us dialogue. Hold it and let us discuss the interests and the expectations of the common man on the street whom we are representing on this floor. Mr. Speaker, I want to believe that by now every member of this House has consulted widely. I have consulted. Every good member of this House has also dialogued widely. I have dialogued with the people I'm representing. Mr. Speaker, today we are able to face these pieces of legislation with an informed mind and definitely with a mind of committing to the expectations of our people. I believe, based on these consultations, Mr. Speaker, and dialogue, the members of the House of Representatives today, individually and collectively, are able now to differentiate and identify the bathwater and the baby. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, today, I believe we are all informed. We can be able to differentiate between the chips and the rice. And so also in your wisdom, Mr. Speaker, and the wisdom of the leadership, the first time you are coming up with a strategy that came up with a special committee, a reviewed committee to go into the business of this legislation so that each and every state will have a representation on the finance committee that has the statutory duties to actually conduct the public hearing. Members of the caucuses that are providing shock absorption policy and administration here are also members of this adjusted committee, a large committee. It is all with a view to ensuring that what the people expect from us is what will be embedded in this legislation at the end of the day. This, of course, would not have been possible, Mr. Speaker, if the executive arm of government, led by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, had also not graciously allowed us to practice democracy in the real sense. I salute Mr. President for allowing us to do our job in our own way. I salute Mr. President for not interfering.
Dogo, 1 minute.
And when we said so, when we were allowed to do our job, today, Mr. Speaker, we are now doing our job to the best interest.
You still have the floor.
Your Excellency, I want to say, based on the level of information and guidance we have all garnered from our people, from stakeholders, I want to believe that this House, under your leadership, and in subsequent engagement of these bills, will do justice to the bill and will do justice to the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I am proud to be part of it, And we thank members for the level of cooperation and understanding they have exhibited today. And I want to believe that all we have discussed will be brought to bear.
Mr. Speaker, put the question.
Will be brought to bear in subsequent considerations of this legal framework. On a final note, Mr. Speaker, I want to also join the lead contributor, the lead debater, who is the leader of the House of Representatives today, whom in his own presentation stated clearly and to the admirations of members that no to the phasing out of relevant agencies of government that are popular and have also have a lot to deliver to the expectation of the people. Naseni, for instance, the TED Fund, for instance, the Speaker, the leader of the House, I quote you, Nida, for instance, I quote my leader for being so sagacious to say that these agencies will not be defaced. They will remain to continue to serve our people. Mr. Speaker, others contributed to the issue of legislating or charging a tax on inheritance tax. This is also a no-go area. Our people have agreed to address all these gray areas. And we thank the Governors Forum. We thank the Governors Forum for their interface with you as our leader and their subsequent interactions.
Honorable Dogo, 3 minutes more, sir. 3 minutes more, sir.
Individual members, sir, to be able to arrive at this development at this moment. And even for those of us who do not have governors, but we have God in our state, we have contacted our spokesmen, the linkmen. My linkman to my governor is Honorable Madaki and Honorable Kabiru Rurum, and they have told me that my governor is on the same page. So I want to say, with all sense of commitment, that this House and honorable members that are seated here, we should allow this bill to go for second reading. And like my colleague has said, at that point, we will be able to actually tidy up. And we hereby promise Nigerians that the best will come out of the bill in the larger interest of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide us, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Mr. Speaker, put the question, please.
Thank you. I don't know our Robert leader, the former Deputy Speaker, if he wants to contribute, or if what our leader has said has covered all his areas of concern. But let's make the offer to him. Honorable Idris Ahmed.
Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, my name is Ahmed Idris, representing Wasai, Federal Constituency, Plateau State. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, I want to believe that on this very important bill, all had been said and all concerns addressed. And like it has been said, through your good leadership, on the consultation that was done, is what gave us the enabling environment and what we are doing today. And the trust that people have given, believing in your capacity and your ability, I want to believe that Nigerians will go to sleep. This is very important bill that have almost caused division in the House in terms of understanding and our political landscape. But God, in His infinite wisdom, have guided you in handling this matter, resolving the matter between us, other stakeholders, behind closed doors. I think what we are doing today is more a ceremony. I want to believe that by the grace of God, the public hearing will be done in a very good manner and will return report, at least from the statement that was mentioned, just like Adodogo had mentioned. Immediately he mentioned this. I keep saying there's no need for any other contribution. Reason being, all the areas that are gray, that are causing misunderstanding, the leader in his submission, which forms part of our voice and proceeding of today, said and clear that these areas are no good. Mr. Speaker, I was once a desk officer of Education Trust Fund. And I will say with pride that I was part of those in 1992 that struggled for Education Trust Fund, which now translates today to what we have as TED Fund. And I know the benefit. And as a desk officer, I can tell you for free, go around the country. 90% of institutions are developed capital in terms of infrastructure with state fund. And there's nobody that can take away that. So the attempt by those who do not possibly understand well to take off that one is like killing education. That the government have addressed, and you in Finland have agreed to step down some of those things. I believe it's done out of patriotism, not out of ego. It is in the interest of our own country to have these institutions in existence. Neseni is one very, very important institution. If you go around the country against her, see their work in terms of research, nobody can take away. And I believe we need them, and we need all of them. We need all the institutions. Like my brother said, the issue of inheritance, taking tax on it, for me as a Muslim, it is prescribed for me in the Quran, and the freedom to practice my religion is guaranteed in the Constitution. So that submission in the Constitution or provision is what is making some of us to say, no, it is guaranteed. And so, in provision of inheritance sharing, there's particular form. Nobody will take that. If you do that one, you are causing chaos. And I want to believe, yes, these are some of the things that happen in advanced countries, but we differ in culture, we differ in background, and I want to thank you for what you have done. What you have done and what we have gotten today is not only bringing our coming nerves within us, but including the nation. And I want to say that you have done a lot, and the country is going to benefit. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for all of us. May He guide us as we go further. I want to believe that with the horse trading that has taken place, everybody should go to sleep. I think this is more of a confirmation that we should give. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I support that I will go to the secretary so that this will
Thank you very much. Honorable Falake, I reserve the last session for you, being the chairman of the committee that will coordinate. So you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is James Abiodun Faleke. I represent Ikeja Federal Constituency. Honorable colleagues, I appreciate the Speaker for giving me this floor. I want to say thank you to all the members. But particularly, I want to thank the Speaker for using his God-given talent, humility, to enable this session to have happened. I remember the day we started these debates, it was like the house was going to fall apart. But here we are today, everybody's on the same page because of the way and manner you have conducted it. I appreciate members. All the issues raised, I have noted down. And I want to assure that the public hearing will take note of all these issues, and when we do come back with the reports, I'm sure all the issues raised will be accommodated. I appreciate all the leaders. I appreciate you, the leader of the House. Thank you for leading us well, and thank you. God bless Nigerians.
Thank you very much. So without any waste of time, we go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Aye. Those in support should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Thank you very much. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, point of order, sir.
Clerk, go ahead.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to provide for assessment, collection of, and accounting for revenue accruing to the Federation, federal, states, and local governments prescribe the powers and functions of tax authorities and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to repeal the Federal Inland Revenue Service Establishment Act No. 13, 2007, and enact the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill to establish Nigeria Revenue Service charged with powers of assessment, collection of, and accounting for revenue accruable to the government and of the Federation and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to establish the Joint Revenue Board, the Tax Repeal Tribunal, and the Office of the Tax Ombud, and for the harmonization, coordination, and settlement of disputes arising from revenue administration in Nigeria and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to repeal certain acts on taxation and consolidate the legal frameworks relating to taxation and enact the Nigeria Tax Act to provide for taxation of income, transactions and instruments and for related matters. Second reading.
The 4 bills are referred to the Committee on Finance for further legislative action. It's not public hearing this time around. It's public hearing that we are going to have additional. But the referral is to the Committee on Finance. Leader of the House, please can you move that the House adjourn to tomorrow, 11 a.m.?
Mr. Speaker, I was enjoying the oratorical fecundity of my colleagues, and I wish we could continue till about 4:30.
If you want...
But since you've asked me to move for adjournment, I rise to move that we adjourn to tomorrow. Same time, same venue. I so move.
The minority?
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, Aliyu Sani Madaki is my name, and I represent the Ala Federal constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motion as moved by the House Leader that we do adjourn to tomorrow, same venue, same place. I do second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. House adjourned to tomorrow, 11 a.m. Thank you very much.